The final battle has come to a safe conclusion. A lot has happened since then. No, truly. So much that it is difficult even to recall it all. First, regarding Luvolj. By combining my power with that of Voltor and the others into the ultimate secret art, Void Mist Collapse, Myriad Blooms, it was completely annihilated. It has now come to rest within me. As for the power displayed at that time, hearing it in numerical values might make it seem like no big deal, but in reality, an absurd amount of energy was generated. After all, it is surprising to note that the vast majority of that energy was used just to contain the shockwaves. Had I simply unleashed it, the power would have been sufficient to annihilate multiple universes. Or rather, when attempting to annihilate a super high-density energy lifeform like Luvlier, it is necessary to smash it with energy equal to or greater than its own. If a collision of such scale were to occur, let alone a universe, a multidimensional collapse would be unavoidable. To prevent that, we utilized the maximum barrier and various other defensive measures, with the cooperation of Guy and the others, but the scale was far too great to be suppressed by such things alone. I disintegrated Luvolj's massive body as a test run, but I got the feeling that when Seal mentioned Samba no Chikard back then, she didn't mean 30%. She probably meant 3 minutes in the truest sense. Proceeding with that recognition. It seems unlikely I'll have another chance to test it, and I'd be in trouble if I did, so I decided to forego verifying that particular detail. And so, at the same moment Luvolj was defeated, time began to flow normally again. The heroes gathered at the site of the Holy War were released from their statues of ice, though they were utterly confused as to what had happened. Amidst this, I was greeted by Guy with applause. Even without seeing his smile, I had nothing but a bad feeling about it. And, sure enough. Rimuru-kun, good work. That was a truly magnificent fighting style. No, not at all. It was only because I had everyone's support that I could fight with peace of mind. Don't be humble. As he said this, he grabbed me firmly around the shoulders. I could feel a strong will emanating from him. I will not let you escape. So. Well, listen. I think it's my turn to challenge you now. No, what? Challenge? What are you talking about? In the first place, I had no intention of challenging Guy, so I'm troubled if he says it's his turn. After I was completely defeated by Veldanava, I swore I would win the rematch. And yet, you went and defeated him, didn't you? Well, sure, it was me who refused Guy's offer to help. I'll need you to take responsibility. No, that's a different story. Before I could say it was different, Guy started saying something absurd. That's how it is. From this moment on, I would like Rimuru to take the seat of the Great Demon Lord as the one who rules over us. Are there any objections? There are plenty. Don't proceed with the conversation on your own, I thought strongly. And yet, everyone other than me was nodding to each other, as if it were the most natural thing in the world. I have no complaints. If it is Rimuru, I can entrust it to him. That's right. I'm practically already employed by Rimuru anyway. Position-wise, I have no complaints either. Milim and Ramaris were the first to express their approval. Following this, Lumina spoke up. Even leaving the difference in power out of the discussion, Rimuru's influence is already beyond our control. Looking at the faces of his subordinates, there are many who rival us rising up. It would be futile to voice an objection. Dagrul surely has no complaints either. Luminous seemed to be in agreement as well. She even spoke on Dagrul's behalf to push for my inauguration as Great Demon Lord. Well, I intend to have Rimuru send support me hire me. So, looking forward to working with you. I'm totally in favor. I knew Dino would betray me. I will clear away this grudge in the form of a salary cut. Finally, Leon opened his mouth. Before I knew it, the evil dragon beast had vanished, and the final battle was over. Since I couldn't even perceive it, I likely don't even have the right to complain. I acknowledge it. Great Demon Lord Rimuru. That statement was the deciding blow. With the exception of Dagrul, it was a unanimous decision, and my inauguration as Great Demon Lord was determined. With that settled, the issue became the title of the Demon Lords. I thought the usual octagram was fine, but no one accepted that. Since it couldn't be helped, we dragged out the provisional title 7 Monarchs. It lacks a twist, but since it's provisional, it should be fine. Thus, while the heroes were regaining their composure, the discussion among the Demon Lords concluded briefly. Afterward, Luminous made an announcement to the entire world. She announced that Ivorage and his kin had been defeated, and the crisis facing the world had passed. She did not mention the names Veldanava or Luvolj, as it would only confuse the people. It is enough that there was a clear evil god and the heroes who exterminated it. Incidentally, the explanation concluded that I took the lead in defeating Ivorage, and by virtue of that achievement, I would henceforth be addressed as Great Demon Lord Rimuru. It is extremely regrettable, but since it was told through the divine image of Luminous projected over every nation, it has become known even to those ignorant of world affairs. My image was also projected at that time, and when I have a serious expression, I really am a beauty. It's strange to say it myself, but since the base was Shizu-san, it doesn't feel like self-praise, so please forgive me. Anyway. Thus, I came to be known to people all over the world as the great demon lord who saved the world from crisis. The world was wrapped in jubilation, and the unprecedented chaos slowly came to an end. It goes without saying who helped with that. The residents of the monster country, Tempest. Dispatched to various parts of the world, they assisted in reconstruction. Without failing to appeal to people's good nature, the operation to eliminate prejudice against monsters is also proceeding smoothly. And so, slowly, the world began to regain its former calm. Just because I became the great demon lord, there were no major changes regarding territory. However, there's one major problem, and a redistribution occurred in only one part. The major problem is Daggeral's domain. To be blunt, it was no longer in a state where people could live. To speak clearly, it is the fault of my Elpis, the Dragonic Sword. When I sliced through the separated massive body of Luvilge, there was a ridiculous release of energy. I processed the aftermath so the impact on the surroundings would be minimal, but this was Vildor's fault, right? It is not. It is by no means solely my fault. Vildor tried to deny it with all his might, but his sisters were never going to allow that. Vildor-chan is in the wrong. If my foolish brother hadn't been so overeager, it wouldn't have turned into such a terrible state. Kai. I think so too. And so, the responsibility was easily pushed onto him. Wait, I just realized that Velgia is now able to speak. Velgia, when did you become able to talk? I spoke. Gaia spoke. Milim and I retorted almost simultaneously. Velgia answered while laughing. Luvilge, was it? When that guy disappeared, I became able to talk too. I see. The cause is likely the jewel taken from Luvilge. If one considers that Veldanava and Lucia's factors were condensed within it, it isn't strange that such an evolution took place. Velzard and Velgrin were also extremely interested in Velgia. Oh, unlike Vildor-chan, this child is very clever. Besides, he looks obedient and cute. Yup. I am obedient. My elder sisters are beautiful, and I am very happy. Oh ho, putting on an innocent face while displaying such technique. To praise them so naturally, he is a cut above Vildor. Oh my. There's a world of difference from our foolish brother. Let's get along from now on, Velgia. Thank you. Call me Gaia like Milim does. Gaia smoothly climbed onto Milim's shoulder. While one can sense some calculated cuteness in his behavior, there is no mistake that he is cute. Milim and the elder sisters are absolutely smitten. Gunyu. Gaia, you say. Cheeky fellow. Vildor is treating Gaia as an enemy, but thanks to Gaia stealing the topic, I was saved from being pursued about the blunder with the Dragonic Sword. Since the spearhead was likely to turn toward me next after Vildor, I'd be in trouble if the topic was brought up again. I should be thanking him rather than complaining. Because of this, it became my role to comfort Vildor, who was jealous of his younger brother or perhaps sister, though they have no gender to begin with. It was a huge nuisance, strictly between us, but if I think about it, it was just business as usual. Vildor scatters nuisance behavior, and I manage it somehow. That relationship will continue from here on out. It isn't particularly unpleasant. On the contrary, it makes me feel amused, but that is a secret from Vildor. Because, you know. If I say that, it is obvious he will get carried away. Just as our relationship will not change in the future, that goes without saying. So, the fact that we were the cause of the damage became vague and unsettled, but the ones for whom that didn't settle the matter were Daggeral's people. It was originally the Desert of Death, so their preserved food supplies were precarious. Even though it has now become a lush green land, the impact of this battle was immense. At the very least, it looks like it will be quite a while before agriculture can be established, and even to harvest naturally grown fruits, an ecosystem survey must be conducted first. If left as is, only ruin awaits them. Such a situation cannot be allowed, so I needed to take responsibility and look after them. However, accepting the giants on a scale of several 100,000 is, as expected, not a simple story. For the time being, I designated the construction site of the former Eurzania as their evacuation destination. We set up simple tents there and had everyone migrate. They will come under Geld's command and engage in construction work. In exchange, the plan was to provide them with food, clothing, and shelter. The Desert of Death, reborn into a forest by Vildor's fertile paradox, should adapt to the dense magicules remaining in the land within a few years, and support the giants' lives. Until then, the plan is to have the giants help with physical labor at the construction site, while learning methods for constructing massive buildings. After all, their own country should be rebuilt by their own hands. I will help make that happen, but I am not so soft-hearted as to have them rely on me for everything. After explaining these things politely, the giants came under my care. Thus, although Damorgania is Daggeral's domain, I ended up looking after it. The part where only a section was redistributed refers to Millam's domain. Most of it remained as before, but Jisov alone was ceded to Kigali and her group, as promised. This was also carried out generally without issue. Kigali ascended the throne as queen and has been recognized by us. Under Kigali is the moderate Harlequin alliance, but Laplas alone was dragged away by Sylvius and Adeltan. There wasn't a sweet atmosphere. Laplas looked so sad that I hallucinated a mournful song playing in the background. Later, he would escape repeatedly and come to cooperate with us as a handyman, but perhaps the day will come to tell of that eventually. The same goes for the reconstruction in various parts of the world. Truly, so many things happened that there is not enough time to tell it all. I shall narrate it leisurely at a later date, as I recall it.